All right, Coach, thank you for joining us tonight. We will get right into questions for Coach. So as always, if you'd like to ask a question, please send me a message in the chat. We'll get started with Paul Hodawan. Start us off, Paul.
Coach, after the Wisconsin game, you talked about needing to get other people involved besides Marcus. He couldn't be the sole point of the offense. Today, you get 5 guys in double figures, and the ball movement seemed to be better. How did you just feel about the overall offensive performance and just the flow of the way they worked on that side of the ball?
Exactly that. It can't be ball screen Marcus every single time. We tried to kind of change up some things offensively to what we're doing. We anticipated that they may trap Marcus in ball screens, which they did. And I thought our guys did a really, really good job of attacking, whatever it was that they were going to give us. Because anytime you put 2 on the ball, you got to get rid of it and you got to read the defense, whether it's throwing it inside to Liam, which we did a great job of, reversing it to the corner for some threes. I kept telling the team before the game, it can't be all Marcus offensively. It's got to be 5 guys collectively doing it. And, tonight I thought they really stuck to that game plan.
Next, we will go to Marcus Fuller.
All right, Coach. Seems like every time Liam hits a 3 to start the game, he has a big game. Is that something that you want to continue doing, or?
Well, I want him to hit threes when he shoots them for sure. We obviously had a little bit of a size advantage. Liddell's good, but he's a little bit more undersized. But yeah, Liam's talented. He can knock down threes. He can score to the low post. You're going to get better and better. So we run a couple things for him popping instead of diving, and he's been effective on it. But, I thought tonight where he was really good was down low. Not only scoring, but also passing the ball.
And we will go back to you, Paul, for the next one.
Did you feel there was a shift in just the intensity of the way the team played and came out today in terms of how they were against Wisconsin?
Well, the opponents got something to do with it. You got to give Wisconsin credit. They were really good. Our guys have had an ability after the 2 losses to respond. And I've told our guys over and over again, if you can stay in alignment with us in that locker room and not the voices outside, I think we can have a good team. We can get better and get better. And we really try to teach them where we can get better versus Wisconsin. Player movement was better in the first half. And then the defense was terrific.
Marcus, back to you.
Liam talked about in the win versus Michigan State that deep post position has helped him score a lot more frequently in the inside against obviously tougher and more physical players in the Big Ten. Do you feel like he's gotten a hang of that?
Yeah, when you're playing at a quote mid-major, and Drake's obviously good. It's a great conference, but it's a different level of physicality, especially with the bigs, and he's probably not used to it. But I thought he was much, much better, much improved. He's learned from it. He was getting deeper post position. When you're 7 feet tall, you got to do that. And he's embracing the physicality of the game a lot better. And sometimes you just need to see that, you need to feel it first to be able to, kind of move in that right direction. He's learning from it.
Paul, back to you again.
How do you feel like Booth came out he had the early scoring surge, and now you talked about wanting to see him get more confident and get more comfortable. Do you feel like he achieved at least some of that today?
Absolutely. He was terrific. He obviously hasn't been playing great offensively. And, to come in the game, we had talked over and over again about it cannot be all Marcus. We think they'll do something with him on ball screens. Other guys got to make him pay. And, to Booth's credit, he has put in the work. He doesn't feel sorry for himself. He gets back in the gym. And that is the key is you start feeling sorry for yourself. People just keep moving past you in all walks of life. And he didn't feel sorry for himself. He just got back in the gym, stayed confident, took to coaching, and it was good to see him kind of snap out of it a little bit.
Next, we will go to Dave Campbell.
Hey, Richard, what have you learned about your team, I guess, from this 4-game stretch? The last 10 days, just pretty daunting. You got to feel pretty good about the way they have sort of.
Well, I feel good about the response. I thought we played great tonight. We've had obviously some really good moments. St. Louis It's a potential NCAA tournament team. Michigan State's a potential NCAA, Iowa is, and Ohio State is. I mean, that's 4 in your first 12 games. And we've been fortunate to win them, you know, so we've done a pretty good job of learning, you know, from some of these losses, and we've took to coaching, you know, and guys are getting better. I mean, like Liam Robbins is clearly getting better. And, you know, I think they're trusting us and believing in us.
And Marcus, back to you.
Coach, do you have any comments on obviously David Mutoff deciding to transfer out? You know, your freshman class is, you know, not everybody gets a chance to play, but, you know, what do you see from him?
Yeah, you know, he made the decision to transfer. We wish him well. You know, I mean, everybody's got a choice in this, and you know, we're disappointed to see him leave, but we wish him well wherever he ends up moving forward. You know, it's tough coming from a foreign country all the way here in the middle of a pandemic, and you know, so we're pulling for him wherever he goes next.
All right, and I'm not seeing any additional questions for Coach. I'm just giving a couple quick seconds, but it looks like that is all. And Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys. Thanks. Yep.
We'll shift over to the players in just a few moments here. And as a reminder, tonight we will have Liam Robbins and Marcus Carr. Thanks. All right, Liam, thank you for hopping on with us. We will get right into questions for Liam, and we will start off tonight with Paul Hodemon. You can start us off again, Paul.
Liam, you've seemed to emerge kind of as that second option opposite Marcus. And when the team, Pitino was saying he knew they were going to try to take Marcus away, do you kind of relish that role as being that guy that can kind of pick it up when maybe the offense or when they're kind of targeting a big key part of your offense?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Marcus is our leading scorer. You know, he's kind of the heartbeat of our team, if you will. So when they're taking him away, like obviously like the ball went to me, and like I was just glad I was able to make some things happen. And then I feel like it opened it up for everyone else again. But like I'm just here to do my part, and like whatever that might be on any given night.
Next, we will go over to Marcus Fuller.
Liam, can you just talk about what you guys learned from the Wisconsin game, you know, especially in that first half? It seemed like even you in the second half, you're, you know, getting better looks at the basket, and you guys are getting the ball inside a little bit more.
Yeah, I think in the second half of the Wisconsin game, me and Brandon really started being aggressive and going towards the basket, and we started getting fouled, and we started getting layups and better baskets. So, you know, going into this game, you know, we took that same mentality, like, you know, it's the Big Ten, you got to be physical. If you want to get a foul, you got to go towards the basket. I think that's just been a little bit of an adjustment period, you know, being on the road. You know, we struggled against Illinois and Wisconsin, coming out flat and maybe a little tentative. So like coming into this one, like we were just trying to be aggressive, and it paid off.
Next, we will go over to Dave Campbell.
Liam, what's it been like just adjusting to this new team, learning the offense, learning your teammates, you know, kind of on the fly? At this point, you probably had enough time, but I know it's been sort of a different kind of way to go.
Yeah, definitely a different experience. You know, we had I want to say it was 5 or 6 new guys, and you know, of our starting lineup, you know, 3 of us are transfers. So obviously it takes a little bit of adjustment, seeing what everyone wants to do and stuff, but everyone here just wants to win. So the adjustment period's been really easy because we're all striving towards the same goal. So I think you'll just keep seeing our team take steps in the right direction because we're all working towards the same goal. There's no selfishness on our team.
Paul, back to you now.
You had a pretty clear size advantage over most of the guys that were guarding you on offense. How much were you trying to, I mean, you talked about being aggressive. How much were you trying to be aggressive in this game to create your own shot and, you know, capitalize off that mismatch?
Yeah, they're being really aggressive on our guards. So the fact that I had a height mismatch and they really weren't doubling me to start, it allowed me to get some deep touches and get some like good looks at the basket. And obviously, like I knew that was important because like if they had to focus a little bit more on me, then it opened up Marcus, Gabe, Booth, and all of our other great scorers. So like that was important for me to get those deep touches to help the rest of our team.
Marcus Fuller, back to you.
Liam, just talk about obviously when you see Marcus not shoot the ball, at all in the first half. Was that a surprise to you? And obviously you got it going eventually, but it was one thing if he's being held by the defense, but he wasn't actually even taking a shot.
No, it wasn't surprising me. Marcus is a great point guard. I want to say he makes the right play almost every time. And I mean, they were doubling him heavy and they're not even letting him get downhill. So, I mean, he's not one who's going to just try and get his. He's going to try and make sure we win the game. So obviously he got his later on when they started helping on us. But no, his goal is to help us win. So, he was distributing the ball and we all got open looks. And then, his came after that.
And just waiting to see if we have any last question requests for Liam. Paul, if you'd like to ask one more for the last one.
You talked about it after the Michigan State game, but just getting more comfortable in terms of on your defense and not, fouling as much as you have been. You had another good game with all the blocks and being able to kind of keep yourself from fouling. How comfortable do you feel like or the progression you've been able to get on that defensive end? Do you feel like you're at a point now where you can be aggressive on the defensive end and not have to worry so much about if you're going to foul or where you are in foul trouble?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think I've definitely improved in understanding what gets called and how I'm supposed to properly play defense with walling up and kind of the more I guess the fundamental rules of just walling up in the post and stuff like that was the main thing. I have a lot of room to I need to grow and progress in post defense. Struggle with that a little bit lately, but I feel like I've taken care of the foul trouble for the most part. I don't want to jinx myself or anything, but I feel like I've made good strides there. But there's a lot more improvement I need to do to help our team get where we want to go.
Liam, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We'll wrap up in just a few moments here with Marcus Carr. All right, Marcus, thank you for joining us. We'll get right into questions for you, and we will start off with Paul Hodowanek once again.
Marcus, when the Buckeyes showed that they were going to play you really tight and they were going to force you to kind of pass the ball, how does your mentality shift? Because I know you're a big scorer, but obviously you're assisting a ton. So when you don't take a shot for the first 6 minutes and you're kind of slow to get the offense going, how does your mentality shift to being more of a facilitator early on?
My mentality doesn't really shift at all. No matter how a team's going to play me, play us, I still have to try and attack just to get the defense off balance. So whether that's me coming off ball screens and they're double teaming, I still have to be aggressive off those ball screens to draw those defenders and then allow my teammates to make plays from there. So it's not really a mentality shift at all. It's just taking what the defense gives me.
Next, we will go to Dave Campbell.
Marcus, what is Liam's arrival, I guess, presence in the post just meant to this offense and defense this season? If you could put that into words.
He's the anchor back there. That's what I could say, offensively and defensively. Obviously, he's a big body down there, and he gives us a lot of things: protection at the rim, scoring at the rim. He's able to kind of stretch out and shoot the ball as well. I think you saw today, they tried to double him a little bit, and he was able to pass the ball to the post as well. So he kind of really showed his whole game today. And he's just playing how we all know he can play how he's been playing since he got here. And a lot of people were kind of doubting him, trying to get on him early in the year when we kind of had that little stint where we weren't practicing for a little bit, kind of got him out of rhythm, and now he's back in rhythm. So people are really seeing his potential and how he can play. But it's not a surprise to us at all. We knew he could do this all along.
Marcus Fuller, over to you.
And Marcus, how does it feel, when you don't have to shoot the ball even to start the game, and you guys are beating a good team like Ohio State, when you have Booth and Gabe and then Liam all contributing, to take that burden off your shoulders?
Yeah, it definitely feels good. Not having to necessarily do a lot. If the defense is going to do that, I have trust and faith in my teammates that, they're going to go ahead and make plays and do the right thing. So, we're always just prepared for whatever is thrown at us. And, I'm glad my guys executed today and we got the job done.
Paul, back to you.
What do you feel like was different from the Wisconsin game to the way you guys played in this game? Was it a change in intensity, just being more like locked in on the defensive end, or just the shots falling? How do you kind of compare how the game went for Wisconsin and then how it went today?
Yeah, I think, versus Wisconsin, we were a bit sped up. Credit to them. They're disrupting us, not really giving us what we wanted. We weren't getting the shots that we really wanted. And so we were kind of uncomfortable at the offensive end. I don't think we played terrible defense. We rebounded the ball pretty well. Just the offensive end, we were out of sorts. So, coming into the day, we just wanted to focus on that, as well as, focusing on the defensive end, making sure that we stopped them in the areas that we wanted to, and rebounded well. So, yeah, it was just, we were flowing better offensively today and just taking what the defense gave us.
Marcus Fuller, back to you.
Marcus, what's the key to taking what you guys have done at home this season, being undefeated, and then carrying that on the road?
Just bringing the same energy, the same mindset, whether we're at home or on the road. I mean, of course, there aren't really fans anywhere we go, but, still just bringing that same energy so, we can make any court our home court. We're really able to do that this year. So, we kind of have to just take that, flip that mindset. We have a few guys who, haven't really played on the road before. So it's just a collective effort of all of us, learning to do that as a team. It's almost a bit more difficult playing on the road without any fans, and with fans, the fans are there. You kind of like the atmosphere. It's kind of like stuff you live for as a player, but, it's something that we definitely have to do to adjust and get some wins on the road this season.
And Marcus, we will go back to you for one last question.
Brandon said something at the Wisconsin game about the rims being a little different when you guys are on the road than at home. Obviously, you don't want to have any excuses when you don't shoot the ball well, but is that something, hitting a different ball, is that something that maybe can affect the team?
I mean, you're always most comfortable at home. Obviously, we practice here the most, play here the most. So, the basket's going to look bigger to us. We're obviously you're just more comfortable at home with anything in life. So there's definitely a better comfort playing at home. But, that doesn't matter. We just got to come out with the same mentality that we do at home on the road. And, whether shots are falling or not, then, we still have to get the job done.
Marcus, thank you for your time. Have a great night. Everyone else, thanks for hopping on tonight. Have a great rest of your Sunday.